Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. For the past 3 years, there's been a very special holiday Christmas collaboration going on. And Lancaster is so blessed to have so many good arts people in the community getting involved in the arts, and the plays that are put on are such top-notch by the groups. Ohio University Lancaster is in the Lancaster Playhouse and the Garett Players, and each of them do great work individually, but for the past 3 years they came to the conclusion that to do a Christmas collaboration would just be beneficial and everybody would love it, and that has been the case. And this year coming up, December 5th, is the first day of that. It's called A Christmas Carol, a ghost story of Christmas. Exciting to talk about. We've got the people to chat about it. On my immediate right is PJ Aubrey. PJ will be directing the show this year. We have a board member, Kenny Culver will be here, and he's our critic today. He'll be chatting about some of the things from the other side of the world, sure, right? In front of the camera, not...
That's fine.
Okay, very good. Kenny and PJ are with us here, and so PJ, we'll start with you.
Sure.
A Christmas Carol, a ghost story of Christmas. Is this something we're familiar with?
It is the classic Dickens tale, reimagined by Michael Wilson, who is a director and playwright of note. This is a version of this that has been done for years at Hartford Stage, also Ford Theater in Washington. It's a wonderful adaptation which focuses on some of the supernatural aspect of Dickens' tale. We've got ghosts, some scary ghosts,
really?
You know, that are part of his dream world that everyone is familiar, that he goes through, so that he comes out at the end of that a transformed person.
Yes.
By his experience. So we've got wonderful ghosts, we've got some additional ghosts, don't want to give too much away, and this is going to be full of special effects. Victor Jones at the college is heading up our technical team as well as producing.
Said on that.
Enough said already.
We know how Victor will be perhaps
right.
over the top.
That's right, and we love that, and people are really going to enjoy this. It's family friendly. It'll be exciting, and I think it's be a wonderful addition to Christmas here in Fairfield County and our community.
Now, what kind of cast do you have? So therefore, I assume you have adults and children involved?
I do. I have 30 people in the cast,
wow.
And the audience will see some familiar faces up there. I've got 10 of that cast are, I don't want to call them children, but they're under the age of 18.
Okay. Young people.
Young people, there you go. And our Scrooge is a wonderful actor from Mount Vernon, Fort Collard. A lot of people in the theater community in Columbus and in Central Ohio are familiar with him. He's a wonderful actor. It's a terrific cast, and we're having a lot of fun.
We think about this play, and every time of the year at this time, that's probably my favorite movie. There's a couple versions I like.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a wonderful movie, and as you say, the transformation of Ebenezer into that. So we see that's the basic part of this too.
And this is still in this adaptation because it's the key center of the whole story. Charles Dickens, this is very much, I want to say it's a biographical for his life at 10 years old. His family was very poor. His father was in a workhouse. He was forced to go to work in a factory at the age of 10. He grew up very poor and dismal in the mid-1800s in London. And as he got older and more successful as a writer, he wanted to make some statements about people taking care of people, how people with more are responsible for people who have less. And this is one of the lessons that Scrooge learns. And it was one of the things that Charles Dickens wanted people to come away with after seeing the play.
Well, it's a Christmas Carol, a ghost story of Christmas. It's December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th at Ohio University Lancaster. Kenny, pretty big time to be involved in this for you, right?
Yes, it is. And by the way, you're the only person other than my wife who calls me Kenny. So,
so I'm honored to be in in Suzanne's company.
Well, you are in good company indeed. So yes, I'm on the board and proud to be on the board. And I just like to take a minute and take 10 steps back from where we are with the Christmas Carol. If you go back a couple of decades, this town had no theater other than high school plays. OU theater was dark until Victor came along and resurrected it in wonderful ways. Shortly thereafter, the Garett Players began, which is of course a scripted reading. And then 10 years ago, the Lancaster Playhouse was created, which is what I would call true community theater. In addition to that, now we have the Rise Up Alliance, which is basically for children. Right. We have a theater group in Baltimore. So theater in Lancaster is alive and vibrant, and just 20 years ago it was dark. And so what a tribute it is to this community to provide theater in so many venues, in so many ways. And the fact that we are all thriving proves that people want this kind of entertainment, support this kind of entertainment, and will continue to, I think.
I remember, maybe it's been 10 years ago, or however long it was, when the Garett Players came about. Right in this seat, perhaps where one of you are sitting right now, had Ron Keaton on,
right,
who was one of the founders of the Garett Players for that, and he started talking about that, and I thought, hell, I don't know. We'll see how this worked out. Well, Ron was right, and once again, he hit it on the head. As you say, for people, and I talk about in the music world, it's the same way with the chorale and the community chorus and the Lancaster Men's Chorus and a women's barbershop quartet. Got a lot going on here in this community.
Absolutely.
People can stay.
And you know what's good about that, Paul, is this. I'll put my previous role as president of city council. We know what attracts business to a community and what attracts people to a community. It's schools, it's good roads, it's parks, but it's also culture. And so people want to move here, bring their businesses here when there are things for their employees to do. Theater being one of them, music being one. And so we have wonderful trends going, and the proof is in the pudding. We are growing, we're bringing business into this community, and theater is one of the reasons.
Oh, good for you on that. And PJ, I would mention, I don't know who once upon a time, I don't know if it's Victor, you, somebody, had the idea for everybody to come together at Christmas time, and whoever worked on that idea, it's been a great thought.
It has been, and it's been wonderful to work with all three groups working together, and we've put on some really wonderful Christmas productions in the last 3 years. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with the audience. I think they're really going to enjoy it.
Now, where can seats of 15? I know they can go online to the website.
Absolutely.
ohio.edu/Lancaster/theater, and you can order by phone at 407-2784. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, December 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then Sunday, the Saturday and Sunday are 2 o'clock matinees.
That's right.
Are you ready for this?
Absolutely, can't wait.
It's going to be so exciting. Kenny, it's an exciting time of the year. So many wonderful things.
It is, and if I might add another reason for excitement, just the Lancaster Playhouse, we begin our 10th year next year.
10 years.
10 years of plays, and we are so excited about what's coming up in 2025. Stay tuned, because we have a wonderful season coming up that I think is worth touting. So be on notice that we're going to be talking about that a good deal.
Well, again, we are rich with talent here for the theater world with the Garett Players, Lancaster Playhouse, and Victor out at Ohio University Lancaster. Thanks for all you folks do to keep this alive and well in the community. It is so important to keep the arts strong and vibrant in this community from a financial aspect, plus just from a social aspect.
Absolutely.
We need this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Sure,
Yes.
enjoyed it. So
My
it's A Christmas Carol, a ghost story of Christmas, December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and it's going to be an exciting time. Thanks for coming, folks.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a moment.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve homeownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you, and perhaps you can tell by a little bit of the background here, we're on the road today. We've come down still in Lancaster at Talmadge School, which is pretty exciting for us, or especially me, to be here, and we may get into that a little bit later, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about one of the teachers here at Talmadge School, Jodi Cress. I'll say, Jodi, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We've come on the road today to see you in your classroom, actually, here at Talmadge School, because you are the first vice president of the Charity Newsies, which puts you in charge of the auction coming up in a couple of weeks. An exciting time.
It is an exciting time. Lots of stuff to be done, lots of checklists to be made, but we're getting it done.
Well, since 1936, Charity Newsies has just been doing tremendous work here in the community. Now, I talk about all the time, there are lots of nonprofits and organizations here that help raise money, help raise food, help raise clothing, do lots of things. Charity Newsies does all that, but there are several that I think are exemplary. One is Salvation Army, another was Maywood Mission, and one is Charity Newsies. That is, and I'm sure that's why you joined the organization, because they do, in your mind, such great work.
Yeah, and I think being a teacher, you know, you also have that heart for kids, so anything we can do to help kids, it kind of opens it up. Charity Newsies has also been in my family since 1970. My dad is the longest serving member right now, Jim Draper, and he got my grandfather to join, and then I joined, and then my husband joined, and now my son, who's 27, is also a member.
Third generation?
It will be, well, if Grandpa was still alive, it'd be 4, but that's so tremendous. We have 3 generations right now in the Charity Newsies.
Well, it's a great cause, and we talk about that. So you've got the auction coming up here in a couple of weeks. That is what, December 5th?
December 5th,
December
Thursday.
5th, coming up soon. And that's the first in a couple of events. The paper drive is after that. We'll chat about that. But this is really a big fundraiser for you. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road. This is kind of makes the difference in your world.
It is. There's approximately 250 people that get to join us on that evening.
Your closest friends.
My closest friends, the ones I depend on the most. There's a silent auction, and there's a live auction, and there's raffles going on throughout the time. But we raise the bulk of our money at that auction that evening.
I know there are some tremendous people. I have neighbors and friends that go there and attend that. Can they still get in, or you shut it off already?
They've already got their invitations. They probably could still get in if there's room.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't looked at all the numbers.
This is at the Moose, right?
It's at the Moose, yes.
Okay, at the Moose.
Yep.
And it's on December 5th. And the auction items you have are almost unparalleled. The things that you're able to gather, because everybody, I think, thinks like I do. This is a great organization. If I'm going to make a donation to charity, this is the way to go.
Yeah, we get a little potpourri of everything. We get gift cards from businesses. We get week stay in North Carolina. We get there's so many things donated to us that it's hard to like put it in perspective until you get there, and then you see like lawnmowers or gun safes or stuff that you just don't see all together in one spot is all together.
Now, as I remember, it's kind of different things. You have a silent auction going on throughout the evening, and those are items you just go around, you keep, I don't know if it's done electronically. I remember you used to sign up on a sheet.
It is still pen and paper.
Sign up on the sheet, and then you just keep going back to make sure yours has been knocked out.
Yeah.
But then the real money part comes with the auction. I think John and Mike LeMay, who are my friends, they still run the auction down.
Yeah.
I know Bob Rozier did for many years.
He did, and then LeMays have taken over,
Yes.
so that's been a great, fun evening for us.
Sure.
He's so good at what he does. Sometimes I have to think, what is he saying again? Oh, now I know what
That's
he's
that auctioneering talk.
that auctioneering talk.
John and Mike, they're good kids. So do we have any idea how many items?
Roughly, usually the silent auction has about 250, and the live is about 75 to 85 auction items.
Wow. And you have a wonderful dinner provided down there. Usually it has been a steak. I don't know if it's still a steak dinner.
It's prime rib from Bay's Food Market,
Ooh.
and we
Who's
have
a big supporter. We'll give Dave a plug down there.
And also the staff at Castaways fix it for us.
Nice.
So McCole and Jeremy there, they really have helped us out a lot.
Well, there are so many, like we talk about that, but your partners in this community, and we probably don't want to get into naming them because you'd leave somebody out, but there are so many.
Right.
This has really been a project that has been undertaken by the entire community and embraced by Lancaster.
It is, and being the first vice president, you get a list of people who donate items, and it's stuff that they've donated every year. Like Wendell's always donates a pair of diamond earrings that we actually have a separate little raffle for. And, well, it's not little, it ends up bringing in a lot of money, but it's just really fun to call these people and say, hey, are you still willing to donate to Charity Newsies for our auction? And I very rarely hear a no. It's just like, oh, yeah, we're planning on doing that. So that's really nice to be able to call these people year after year after year, and they realize that there's somebody new year after year after year. And they just call and say, hey, can we get that? And it always happens.
So this is on December 5th, and then the paper drive is what, the second Saturday in December?
Yeah, and let me think. I don't know if I could do the math. So the 14th, I believe, is when it is.
So that's when it is, and we all have seen the orange jumpsuits, red jumpsuits,
yes,
red jumpsuits out in the community, walking around on the corners, Lancaster and Fairfield County, and a tremendous fundraiser for you there.
It is. The second VP, which is Misty Harmon, has worked really hard on this newspaper, and we've already signed up for spots where we're going to be at in the community, and people just bring their money. What's really funny is once they get their paper, people tend to put it in their top of their drive if they're going to be humming around, Lancaster, to say, hey, look, we bought our paper, but there's still people who are like, here, you take some more money too.
Sure.
And then the fun ones are the ones who hunt us down and give us this random check for hundreds of dollars saying, you've done so much for the community and you've helped me when I was younger. There's always a story to go with it, and we just wanted to say thank you. And then you get the kids who just bring their change and say, here, we wanted to give to you, thank you. It's really hard.
Let's talk for a moment about where this all goes. So you raise all this money from the auction, you raise the money from the papers, and then the big day is close behind.
Yeah.
Where you gather.
Where we gather on a Friday night, and we pack between $500 and $600 500 or 600 boxes of food that will last a family approximately 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks worth of, at least.
Yeah, at least. Packing them is really fun. It's a 21 and over event. We have a really good time together, and it's all so organized. Hamburg Fireworks and Kenny Sprague and Josh and all of them do such a good job setting everything up, and everybody in their office. And it's just like a work of art. And we get them all packed. And, you know, it used to be a big race, and now it's not. Now it's like, all right, let's do a good job.
We're here for the evening.
You're here for the evening.
And then that gets distributed what, the next day?
The next day, everybody meets at 8 o'clock, and this is when anybody can come. Bring your family, bring your trucks, because not only that, we also have not only food, but there's toys that can get delivered too. So our cars are filled to the brim with food and toys and milk from the schools. I mean, you can see the kids' faces light up when they get that milk from the schools. Oh, I know what that is. But it is really, that's the day. If you have a time to volunteer, we will take whoever wants to come help us deliver, because that's the big time where we all need to have everybody together.
And I'll give a nice plug here to one of your former members. He's deceased now, but always my connection. He was always in your chair when I talked about Charity Newsies was Fred Strausser.
I knew you were going to say
Fred was the PR guy. Nobody worked harder, took more pictures, I think, than Fred. But anything I ever wanted to know the history of, anything, as you know it too with the generations you've come into this, but that he would always tell me that what a wonderful time. It's almost too bad you have such a great time, because you do such great work and have a great time doing it.
We do. It's a great organization to be in. I've made friends that I don't really hang out with, but when I see them, they're always coming up to me. Oh, how are you? Is there something you need? And it's really a great community to be in with that group.
How long have you been a member?
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so we joined in 24 years. I joined in 2000, so for 24 years I've been a member.
Kind of like if you're in Millersport, if you're a Lions Club member, you're born into the Lions Club, and that in this case you were born in to be a newsie.
I was born in to be a newsie. Yep.
So and then there's also, now when is the coat drive? Is that this time of year, or is that a separate time? That's back to school, isn't it?
Back to school drive, yes. That's always like the end of July, 1st of August. Right. Where families call 211 and they get a time and date to show up at the 211 office. And that is the day. This year we had, I've got my little notes here, 318 families come in, and we covered 761 children, and they were given approximately $200 for clothing and school supplies, each child.
And that comes from the money that's raised tonight, in the next month.
We're going to raise at the auction,
At the auction. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's why it's so important. That's a long way off yet, but the money they raise is, you're still utilizing it that many months from now.
And we also have Stephanie Brown, who's our school liaison, and she gets phone calls all the time for things that schools need. It's usually a lot of clothes and, like sweatpants and underwear.
You mean you'd be like kids in your class that somebody knows this kid needs something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And or the whole, like as a staff, like as the nurse, like maybe she needs clothes for kids that need help.
Well, it's just such great work that the Charity Newsies do. Again, I put them on a pedestal of all the nonprofits here do such great work, but the Charity Newsies. And that's something I think I would harp on with Fred too, is that the money raised here stays here.
100%. 100% of our money goes right back to the community.
Yeah, because you're not working on the payroll for Charity Newsies. You're just one of the great. How many people are in the club?
I believe it's about 150. There's about 150 of us in the Charity Newsies, give or take a few. I know that every year when I look at the list, and I love it when John Hale took over Fred Strausser's thing and he does the roll call, and you listen to all the names, and like our last meeting was pretty big, and everybody's like here, 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 and I'm like, wow, we're really pulling out the stops now. That's really nice.
And again, so many generational people in that group, much like yourselves. They've been in there. Dad was in there. Mom was in there. I'm in there too. My kids will be in there someday. So it's a good organization.
It is.
And I don't think I've ever talked to a Charity Newsie that doesn't have the same feeling about it you do. It's like, we're doing good work here and we enjoy doing it, but what we do in the community is so necessary. And I'm sure you see it as a teacher with kids. You know how needed this is.
Every day. I see it every day. Yep.
So good on you.
Yes.
So December 5th is the auction down at the Moose. It's going to be a great prime rib dinner, a great time by all. Hope you've got your invite. Hope you've got to go in now. It's a wonderful time down there. Good auction. And then the second Saturday in December is the paper drive. Is that just like something till noon or something, or?
We usually go till about 1 o'clock. I think we go out at 8 or 9 o'clock, and we'll be out on the streets, and we're all over Fairfield County. Like, I usually end up in Baltimore, and somebody ends up, you know, wherever else. There's going to be one at Sugar Crossing. I mean, we're going to be everywhere.
Sure. You hope for a day like this. I doubt if you'll have that as we tape today.
Let me tell you, 24 below one Saturday, and we just had to call it quits after like 2 hours. We were like, we're done.
We're done. We've got enough money now. We know we have.
It was interesting.
Well, Charity Newsies is just a wonderful organization. Jodi Cress is with us. She is the first vice president of Charity Newsies, puts her in charge of the auction, and then the paper drive coming up. Now, who's in charge of that, did you say?
Misty Harmon.
Misty Harmon. So that's coming up on that. So best of luck on this. I know it'll be a tremendous asset to the community, as it always is.
Yes.
And I hope you just raise lots of money and you just help lots of families.
Me too.
Good work on you.
Thank you.
Good. Jodi Cress with us. Thanks for joining us from Talmadge School on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.